Dear learners of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, welcome to your course of Business Economics. And in today's session, from your unit of Theory of Demand, we will talk about what are the various factors which determine demand. As we have already seen what is meaning of demand, where we said that it is nothing but ability of a consumer to pay for a commodity that he is willing to buy. And that particular commodity that he is willing to buy, that is quantity demanded, is getting impacted by many factors. It can be price of the commodity itself. Other than that, there are many other factors which affect demand, which are called as determinants of demand. So, in today's session, we will talk about what all are the determinants other than the price of the commodity which have an impact on the demand. So, let us begin with the first basic factor which is determining demand of a commodity. The most obvious factor which determines the demand of a commodity is the price of the commodity itself. If the prices go down, people tend to buy more. If the prices are high, we postpone our purchase. For example, when Indians smartphone sector, that is the companies which were there, many Indian smartphone companies started offering low priced phones which were having pretty good features like that of other imported companies or foreign brands which are there. So, when people realized that Indian smartphone companies are offering the same features at reduced prices, they started buying more of those commodities which are there. So, here the obvious factor which is having an effect on the demand is the price of the commodity itself. After the price, there are many other things which have an impact on the demand. The second most important factor which have an impact on the demand is the taste and preference of the consumer. Different kind of people like different kind of things which are there. Some people might prefer a particular item while others may not prefer that particular item. So, therefore, when we talk about the preferences and the taste of the people, for example, in summer, I may be wanting to consume Maaza and some other customer may be wanting to buy a Sprite or a Limca. So, what happens here? My demand for Maaza or Sprite and Limca is determined by the taste and preferences of the consumers there. Here we can talk about examples like clothing companies which are there in India. All those consumers who may wish to wear Indian ethnic traditional dresses, they may wish to do shopping from Fab India, while many other people who want to don a western style, then they may be wanting to go for brands like Zara. So, what happens here is taste and preferences of the consumers play an important role when you talk about factor which is determining the demand. Then you have the population and the demographics of the population, which also matters a lot. That is, what is the composition of the population, the size of the population, characteristics of the population which are there. For example, in India, we have many youth who are tech savvy and who are used to digital gadgets. So, for all such people, IT companies like Infosys or TCS, they all start demanding the professional services of such tech savvy people who are there. So, the demand for their services will be high in terms of these companies which are there. So, population and demographics will have an impact on the demand for services or for commodities which are there. Similarly, advertising and promotion, how much a company is spending on promoting a particular brand, that also has an impact on how the demand for that brand gets influenced. If a company, for example, is promoting more and more, for example, during a day, if you see a particular ad 10 times or 20 times, you may end up buying the brand because you have seen the ad so many times. So, that particular ad or the promotional campaign influences your buying behavior which is there. So, that advertising and promotion also has an impact on your demand. Similarly, other two important things which have got an impact on the demand are price of the related commodities. First thing we said as an obvious factor was price of the commodity. The other two important things are price of the related commodities. Now, related commodities can be of two types. One is a substitute product and one is a complementary product which is there. Let us see what these are. Substitute goods are nothing but similar products which are available where people may switch from one product to another depending on their availability and depending on their price. For example, in Indian tea market, if you see, Tata is one brand, Brook Bond is another brand. In case of Red Label or Taj are the other brands which are there. If Brook Bond is not available, then I may substitute my tea consumption with Taj Mahal brand or Tata Tea brand. So what is happening here? Availability and the price of the other substitute products which are similar in nature are having an impact on the quantity demanded for that particular product. So in case, for example, if Brook Bond and Tata Tea are available, and if I am a user of, say for example, Red Label, then in case these two are available and the prices of these two are falling, then I may shift my purchase from Red Label to Tata Tea or Brook Bond. So what is happening here? The price of the substitute product is having an impact on my demand for my or other product which I was usually buying there. Such products which are similar in nature also play an important role in determining the demand. These are called as substitutes. Then you have got complementary products which are there. So substitutes, as we have already seen, you can see it in the form of a table and a graph also. Say the price of a tea is 250 per kg, and the price usually reduces from 250 to 225, 200, 175, 150 or 100 for example. Then you are demanding the tea. Now here we talk about products which are substitutes and products which are complementary. For example, you can substitute brands or you can also substitute products. For example, tea and coffee are substitutes to one another. Sometimes if tea is not available, people end up consuming coffee. So in such situations, when tea is substituted for coffee, then price of the tea also can determine demand for coffee. We are not talking about price of tea and quantity of tea. We are talking about price of tea and demand of coffee. So in case price of tea goes up, then I may think that why not drink coffee, because price of tea is very high. So I may now not demand tea, but I am demanding coffee because price of tea is high. So what happens here is these are called as substitute products which are there. So you can see in this table also how the demand for tea is changing when the price of coffee is something, and if the price of coffee increases, then how the demand for tea shifts. This is in case of your substitute goods. Then you have got goods which are complementary. For example, demand for those goods which complete the demand for each other, they will be called as complementary goods. For example, demand for car and prices of petrol. So even if I own a car, I may want to buy one more car, but because the petrol prices are so high or fluctuating in an upward direction, I may think that I will sustain with one car only. I do not want to buy one more. So what am I doing? The quantity demanded for car is getting impacted because of price of petrol. So these two are called as your complementary products which are there. So substitute products and complementary products are related products which have got an impact on quantity demanded. Similarly, income of the people. Income of the people is a very important factor which has got an impact on the quantity demanded. In case the people shift from low income to high income, then they will start demanding expensive brands which are there. For normal goods, say for example, which are rice, wheat, staples or other goods which are there, in case my income increases, I may buy more of those and I may start storing those. But in case of inferior goods which are there, if my income increases, I may not buy that inferior good. Let us take an example of a person whose income is very limited, and with that limited income he was only buying bread. Now his income increased. So with that increased income, instead of buying bread, he is now able to buy, say for example, meat. Then with that increased income, he is not demanding bread, he is demanding meat. So what is happening here? Quantity demanded changes because of change in income of the customer. It is not related to price, but it is related to income of the customer. Similarly, there are many other factors like government policies, taxation rates, subsidies given by the government, which also have an impact on the quantity demanded. There can also be, cultural, social factors which are there, which may also, for example, of late many Indians have become health conscious and we are venturing into exercises, yoga and all. So the demand for, the athletic wear and the yoga mats have increased because the consciousness of health is there, because that is a social factor which is pushing the demand for all these products. Similarly, brand loyalty, customer confidence, all these also have an impact, or even sometimes pressure from your peers, because peers in the society, that is same group to which you belong, it could be age group, it could be workforce group to which you belong, they are friends and peers, their choices also will have an impact on what you may want to purchase. Also, sometimes if a bank is giving a loan or a financial institution is giving a loan, you may end up buying more with that particular loan facility or credit facility which is available. Same way even with technological advancements which may happen. For example, in India, we have seen in telecommunication how our demand has shifted from 2G to 3G to 4G, and today we are talking about 5G. So what is happening here? Technological advancements are making us to buy advanced products which are there related to the technology. Sometimes even natural disasters, crisis also will force us to buy certain commodities. For example, during COVID, we never thought about wearing a PPE, or we never thought about wearing masks and all in our daily lives. But we started buying all those things because there was a health crisis which was there. More often we also buy because of environmental concerns, because of nature, because of health consciousness also we end up buying many things which are there. Sometimes we also buy because depending on the foreign exchange market, especially when we talk about imported and exported commodities which are there. So that way, what have we learned now? We have learned that it is not only the price of the commodity which is determining demand, but there are many more factors which play an important role, which become a function or a determinant of demand. Price of commodity, price of related commodities, income of the customer, government policies, peer pressure or influence, availability of credit, technological advancement, disasters or crises which may be there, consciousness or cultural social norms, technology, advertising, all these things put together are all the factors or the range of factors which are having an impact on the demand. This is an essential part as a part of your theory of demand, wherein we learnt about what are the various factors which determine demand.